I had sworn off bell pepper because I was so tired of eating these when I was on a deficit, and like I just mostly ate bell pepper and the zucchini. And then I found out that I basically have been eating the last 3 years like a bodybuilder, and I've become a bodybuilder. And so I was just like really excited and proud of myself, because there's part of me that feels like if I had the idea to eat like a bodybuilder, to become one, I wonder how much resistance I would have had and would not have done it, you know? Because for me, it was like, wow, like a lot of the food that I want to eat is actually toxic for my body. My intestines would literally swell and sound like they were blowing their nose. They were incredibly painful. And then I would get hemorrhoids, and it's uncomfortable. So I was like so strict because the symptoms were so severe and almost instant. So when I was eating the high volume foods like the zucchini and the bell pepper, on my first reverse diet last year, I was so focused on dealing with my emotions because I didn't have an outlet. I didn't have a food outlet. And I've also, like, as a high performing businesswoman, you'll probably relate to this. We have a habit of overworking ourselves. So when I was bored and I had already worked out and I had already gone on a walk and all my macros were eaten, it was like, oh, I have to actually deal with myself instead of run away from my emotions with physical activity and instead of eating them. So I was able to do a lot of inner work on that first cut because, I mean, I had to. Like, and you know what? I didn't even have to, because there's a lot of people who have the same food sensitivities that I do, and they choose not to change. They know they have the symptoms, and then they'll take like medicine, or they'll just deal with the pain. And I was just like, if we have symptoms, the long-term effects of not making changes, they are so detrimental to our health in the long run. You don't want to be an old person who dies a horrible fucking death in a hospital because you're fucking bedridden, because you've trashed your goddamn organs your whole life. You don't want to do that to yourself. So that was like my motivation, to eat better. But when I found out that, like, you know, Olympia bodybuilders eat like this, I was like really proud of myself. And I was like, oh, all the shit that these other women have given me about my eating, about how I'm too strict, motherfucker, I could be on the Olympia stage. Fuck you. And by the way, when I realized, like, my goal, like my dream, my whole life was to have a six-pack. And it was because I just loved the way that looked. And to me, when I saw fit women, I felt like they had their shit together, because I knew that I ate my emotions, and I knew that I didn't have any like self-discipline. So when I saw women who were really fit and muscular, I envied that, because to me, that represented control and discipline. And a lot of people say that in a negative way, that dieting is about control. And it is 100%. But it's just like anything. Like if you're raising a little child and you're disciplining them, not beating the shit out of them, or not like yelling at them all the time. But like if you're like, hey, FYI, not so great when you do that. Like, you know, discipline and like having a routine and being like, look, kid, you're getting cleaned up one way or another. Would you like to take a shower or a bath? That's discipline. So taking care of your body and eating macros requires discipline. And the bullshit that you have of your like 0 to 7 conditioning, or any like negative belief systems that you've picked up in your life, all of that has to be rectified when you are enforcing discipline in your actions.